In this video, we are going to talk about degree measure. So let's talk about degree measure. So very first thing that we want to do before we even start the degree measure, we need to draw an angle. So what I'm going to do, I am going to draw an angle. So I have one ray right here, and this is my second ray, and I'm going to take this point right here as my point O, and then I will take a point over here, this point right here, which is my point A, and this is my point B. I'm going to call this side as my initial side, INITIAL, initial side, and I'm going to call this side as my terminal side. Terminal side. This point right here, which I'm using O to represent, name of this point is vertex. We call it vertex. Alright? So this is basically how we draw an angle. So now if I have to measure the angle, I will measure this angle like this. And this measurement is basically my angle theta. So I'm not taking any particular value for angle. I'm just taking theta so that I can use the value whatever I want. Now we know how to draw an angle. Now the next thing that we want to talk about, how to write if this is an angle or not. So we will use a symbol. So the symbol of angle, symbol to represent an angle is this symbol. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about how to write this angle. So I can write the name of this angle as, so basically I'm going to use name. So the name of this angle is basically what? I will write it as symbol. This is the angle symbol, so I will write angle. I can write BOA. So the name of this angle is BOA. I can also write this angle, or if I want to write, I can also write angle AOB. So either I write BOA or I can also write angle AOB. Some people also prefer to write just using the vertex. So we can also write this one as angle O. Alright? Now, suppose if I have an angle, so I'm going to consider this angle and I'm going to take this one as PQR. And I'm going to say this is my angle with 40 degrees. Now, we already know there are three different ways to write the name of the angle. But if I want to say that this angle PQR is 40 degrees, how do I do that? So this is how we will do. We will use the symbol. So what is the symbol to write an angle? This is the symbol that represents the angle. So I will use that symbol and I can pick any of the names. I can say PQR, or I can say angle Q, or I can also say angle RQP. And those three are three different ways we can call the same angle. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use PQR to represent that angle. So the name of this angle would be PQR. This is my angle PQR. And how do I say this angle is 40 degrees? So what I will do, I will use a letter, a small m, to write, and then I can add the value of the angle. So I'll write M angle PQR is equal to 40 degrees. All right? And how do I read this? This is how I will read. I will read it like measure of MEASURE, measure of angle PQR is 40 degrees. All right? Now let's talk about one more thing right here. So let's talk about degree measure. So degree measure is basically I'm measuring the angle in terms of degree. So if I have to measure the angle, I can use the degree as my unit. So what is the symbol of degree? Let's first talk about what is the symbol. So the symbol of degree is basically like this. Now let's consider an example. So my example is I want to write 38 degrees. So if I write the value like 38 degrees, it's more like, yeah, it's okay. You know how to write the angle. But since we are doing math, we should write this value in terms of degrees. So instead of writing this, I'm going to write 38 and then I will use my symbol, which is this symbol right here. And how will I read this? I will read this one as 38 degrees. All right? Okay. Now let's talk about the next thing. So the next thing is positive angle. So the next thing that I want to talk about is positive angle. So if I say, now I know how to write the angle in terms of degree. So I want to draw an angle of 30 degrees. Look in front of 30 degrees. What do I have? I have nothing written. It doesn't say that positive or negative. So when it doesn't say whether it's positive or negative, we always consider that's a positive. So what do I have? I have a 30-degree angle. So if I want to draw a 30-degree angle, which is a positive angle, I will draw a 30-degree and I will use an arrow symbol like this and I will say 30 degrees. Now, if you look at this symbol right here, this arrow, the one that I'm using right here, this symbol goes around what? Counter. This symbol is going counterclockwise, right? So the symbol is going counterclockwise. Now let's do one more thing. Suppose if somebody wants me to draw a 45 degree. Now again, look at this. There is no positive or negative sign given. So basically this is what? This is my positive 45 degree, right? So I will draw an angle of 45 degrees and I will say, hey, you know what? This is my positive degree, or this is my positive 45 degree angle, and I will draw it like this and I will make it arrow like this and then I will write 45 degrees. Alright? What if I have a negative angle? What if the angle is negative? So if the angle is negative angle, what will I do? I will draw exactly in the same way. Only difference will be the arrow, the way I draw my arrow for the angle. So let's consider an example. So my example is I want to draw same 30-degree angle, but this time I want to use a negative sign. So if I want to use the negative sign, I'm going to just draw the same type of angle. So my angle is basically like this. This is my angle, and let's pretend this is a 30 degree. Instead of drawing angle counterclockwise, I will draw angle clockwise. So look at this. This is basically my same 30 degrees, right? But with a negative sign. And the reason why this angle is negative, because look at this arrow. This arrow is moving let me repeat it again, clockwise direction. This arrow is moving in clockwise direction. So this angle is a negative 30 degree. Now, if I want to draw, suppose my next example is, if I want to draw 25-degree angle with a negative sign, this means what? My angle is negative 25. I can also draw like this. And in this case, I will draw my arrow again clockwise, and then the value of this angle is negative 25 degrees.